Farrell gonna...
Fire everywhere!
Ah! He's gone! Look! Hang on a minute!
The nearest civilization is a town called Moron. In order to reach it, you must build the contents of these boxes. You have enough food for 7 days.
Oh, God!
With this not such a serious situation, it would be a good laugh.
There must have been 30 or 40 people in the room when the police arrived. Whoa! Clarkson! Jesus Christ, no, I'm flew too close to the edge. Let's sing a song. No. I am sitting where Jim Clark sat.
Going in hard and hard! We're fleeing!
Okay, flee. Well, he'll be using a pistol, won't he?
Thank you. And welcome. And in today's incredibly topical show, Neil Armstrong walks on the moon. Some angry cyclists.
Les cyclistes pas
And
vénères.
I throw a sandwich out of the window. All that is to come. But first, Aston Martin has just launched a new car. And here's Richard Hammond to tell us all about it.
This is the new V8 Vantage.
And, well, it's not an ugly car, is it? I mean, I'm not sure about this colour. You'd be on the phone to your doctor if your weed came out like this, but the shape itself is stunning. This is one of those superstar cars that leave a wake of dropped jaws and phone camera flashes.
And as the smallest, punchiest, sportiest car in the Aston lineup, it's fast too.
takes 3.5 seconds. Oh, I'm slightly alarmed.
Oh là.
Oh my God! Oh no. Oh. You're not going to be embarrassed by 911 Carreras. Oh God. Look at it. Oh dear God.
Allez, ben.
Oh, for God's sake. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, keep going. Oh my God. Go, go, go. Oh my God. Now this bit is really scary. Oh my
Ah,
God.
putain.
Top speed, 195.
But here's the thing. Astons have always been beautiful and fast in a straight line. But when you're making a sports car, that's the easy part. It was when you dug deeper under the skin into the areas you couldn't see that in the past they often came up short.
The trouble is, the company's never had the money or the manpower of Porsche or Ferrari, and you could sense that in their cars. They just didn't feel as well made or well engineered as some rivals.
That means they sold mainly to people listening to their hearts and not their heads. Because your heart says, I want an Aston, even when your head says, that door doesn't fit properly.
But this is 2018. Good looks and speed aren't enough if bits are coming off in your hand. This car can't be nice to drive for an Aston. It can't be well made for an Aston. It's got to be good, full stop. Yeah, in an AMG, this engine doesn't make this noise. In a Merc, it's all power bass. Whereas Aston Martin have added some British gravel to the mix.
So, it's handsome, quick, tuneful, and feels well built. But now we come to the acid test. How the new Vantage handles corners.
So, let's see what's what. Go, go, go! Built on an all-new chassis, a shorter version of the one under the DB11. And it's the first Aston Martin to be fitted with an electronic diff. A very expensive but very valuable weapon of war. Oh, for God's sake. Oh, it is mighty.
Trop tard. Ouh.
Yeah, it works. This is in control of its power. It really is. It's been set up by a man who used to work at Suspension Masters Lotus. And you can tell. In the past, you could buy an Aston and love it, but still know deep down that a 911 was a better car. With this new Vantage, that gap has been closed to a point where it doesn't matter.
It's not just brilliant for an Aston Martin. It's brilliant, full stop.
Ah ouais, comme cette couleur, je l'attends.
Good job. I can see that.
Can you really?
I agree with you on that. It's a brilliant, brilliant car. But one thing I ought to mention, you know all that tech inside it? That is Mercedes stuff, but it's last generation Mercedes stuff.
Yes, but it's still better than all the stuff that Aston used to fit.
That's true.
Is it not?
No, that is true. And the other thing, you expressed surprise that it's got that AMG engine. But you've got to remember the Aston V12 they've been using for years. That's German.
Well, it's made in Germany.
Yes.
Well, that makes it sort of German, doesn't it?
No. It's where it's designed and developed that matters.
Let's not get bogged down with what's German and what's not. The point is, okay, unlike the previous Vantage, that is way, way more than a pretty face. I mean, a lot more. But now let's find how fast Abby can get one around the Ebola drone. Away there at that unusual and frankly stupid square steering wheel. And already we're at the drop down into your name here. Cutting it wide for old lady's house, keeping it neat round there, and now the short squirt down to substation.
Allez.
Cross the line.
It's exciting.
It does. It's like an old-fashioned racing car, moving around. It's a good-looking lap, that. Right, let's find out where it ended up on our lap board, shall we? Here we go.
Ouh.
Exactly the same speed as a 911 GT3 RS.
Yeah, and when you think the Aston doesn't have a massive wing and scaffolding in the back, that is pretty impressive.
It is very impressive.
Yeah, but never mind that. Look, it's no faster than a BMW M5.
Yes, but I think what that says, James, is the M5 is seriously quick.
Now, this year marks the 50th anniversary of the first landings on the moon. And I thought I should take a little celebratory look back at that truly historic mission.
James, this isn't a grand tour of whatever is in your head. You do know that.
No, but I promise there will be some cars in this film. Eventually.
Ouais, un autre.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal before this decade is out of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
When President Kennedy made that speech to Congress in 1961, he gave the scientists at NASA a planet-sized headache. Nevertheless, the brains at NASA knuckled down and throughout the 1960s set about developing and testing the rockets and the technology that would be needed to crack this monumental nut. However, machinery on its own was not enough. Equally important to the success of the space program were the astronauts. Now, these men were generally of a type. They were fighter jocks and test pilots, and they were very familiar with moving around at very high speed. So, and I did promise we'd get some cars into this, when it came to moving around on the face of the Earth, there was one car they favoured above all others.
Hop.
The Corvette.
Oh là, quand une Corvette, cool.
Sports car.
Bonne vieille voiture des States.
Yes, John Glenn, holder of supersonic flight records and the first American to orbit the Earth, drove this.
Ouais. Faut que ça avance pas.
It has an engine of just under 600 cc, 2 cylinders, 0 to 60, 35 seconds. Big love-in between the American astronaut and the Corvette started with Alan Shepard, the first American in space in 1961. And on his safe return to Earth, he was given a free Corvette by General Motors, a sort of medal for services to the country. By 1969, just inside Kennedy's deadline, NASA was ready to try landing some men on the moon. The astronauts chosen were Buzz Aldrin, who drove a Corvette, Neil Armstrong, who drove a Corvette, and Mike Collins, who drove a Beetle. Probably that's why they left him in the command module and didn't let him walk on the lunar surface.
Eagle Houston, we had you now. Do you read over? Loud and clear.
When the astronauts finally approached the surface of the moon, the landing was not without drama.
Okay, all flight controllers, gonna go for landing.
The designated spot was full of craters,
Eagle Houston, you're a go for landing.
forcing Armstrong to fly manually and look for another place to set down.
4 forward, drift into the right level. Okay, engine stop. Mode control, both autos, Eastern engine command override off. We copy you down, Eagle. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
When they finally landed, they had just 20 seconds of fuel remaining. But no matter, they were down on the moon.
That's one.
Ah ouais, donc il s'est posé, mais il est jamais revenu, quoi.
Back on Earth, a hero's welcome awaited. And once he got home, Armstrong, like so many astronauts, would swap the seat in his spacecraft for a seat in a Corvette. And when I say Corvette, I mean this actual Corvette. This one. This was his. This is Neil Armstrong's Corvette. Oh. His hands were here, he looked at the instruments like that.
He touched that. Neil Armstrong.
Cool.
The first person to set foot somewhere other than the Earth. Away. Forward. Go.
Ouais, je dois faire quoi?
The first person to set foot somewhere other than the Earth. Go!
Je sais pas ce qu'il faut faire là. Je dois ramasser tous les points.
The first person to set foot somewhere other than the Earth. Go! Rubbish.
Ah bah voilà, je vois
The
ça.
owner of this car, when he realised what it was he'd found, decided not to restore it. He would leave it exactly as it was. He would just do enough to make it run. So he hasn't done the paint, he hasn't replaced bits in here. This is all exactly as he found it. There's patina on the bonnet there. There's a scuff bit on the door. It's real. Hello, Rev Counter. Neil Armstrong's looked at you, hasn't he? Oh, I think a Huey is coming. There's Mr. Huey, there's the evocative Wump. Those are the two sounds of the 60s, aren't they? That Wump and the sound of Neil Armstrong speaking from the moon. Neil Armstrong's Chevrolet Corvette. Love it. Love it. What an honour.
Hold on. What's gone wrong with astronauts?
They don't go to the moon anymore.
No, they used to be rock dots. I mean, if you think about it, they would drive their Corvettes into town, get hammered, get chlamydia, and the next morning they'd be upside down in a starfighter. Anyway, that's enough about space now. I want to move it on because I came into the office the other day and told these two that the Citroën C3 Aircross that I'd been driving was very good, and they said it wasn't.
Because it isn't.
Yes, it is, and I decided to prove that it is by doing one of those very thorough tests where we cover all the things that matter in a car of this type.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this going to be one of those stupid films where you do ridiculous tests to discover if a car can drive faster than itself?
No. This is the car in question.
Une Citroën.
Prices start at £14,720 and it looks rather funky, with those splashes of orange paint here and there. It's also easy to see out of because the windows are made from glass and all the controls fall easily to hand because they're on the dashboard or the steering wheel rather than under the carpet in the boot. Go. Oh.
Ah, c'est qui ça? Ah!
You may be wondering what makes it to see out of because the windows are made from glass
Une
and
seconde.
all the controls fall easily to hand because they're on the dashboard or the steering wheel rather than under the carpet in the boot. Go. Right, onto the straight. But you may be wondering what makes it so special. Well, to find out, I've decided to break the test down into segments so that all the important questions can be answered. To find out, we've come here to the banked Millbrook Bowl in Bedfordshire. Citroën say that because the quite small 1.2-litre three-cylinder engine in this particular version of the Aircross is turbocharged, it produces 128 horsepower. And now it's time to see what that means in terms of top speed. And here we go.
C'est parti, à fond.
Very quick. Okay, what I've done now is
J'ai même pas vu à combien
back
j'étais.
end of a Bentley Bentayga. Now this is a car with a top speed of 180 miles an hour. Well, it's doing is it's punching a hole in the air for me, and I'm driving along in a vacuum. So that should mean I go faster. Let's find out. Go. Savage acceleration. Sorry, that was not on purpose. Can I go a bit faster? It's like being in Bluebird. My only worry is that I just saw a single magpie, and it is
Comme ça speed 160. Oh putain. 160, 180. Ouh.
Well, if the space is smaller than the aircross, then the answer is no. Go.
Sérieux? Comme elle est partie.
Then the answer is no. And with that sorted out, it's time for one of the most important tests a little car can face. To find out, I've come to Southampton Docks, where obviously I've been forced to wear a hard hat in case a ship lands on my head. Anyway, as you can see, the
Oh, il veut tirer un
has been
bateau.
attached by rope to the enormous car transporter. Which I've just noticed has a face. It's Booty McBoatface. The challenge I'd come up with was to see if the 1-ton C3 could pull the 13,000-ton ship a distance of 25 meters. Right, now I should explain that my colleagues, May and Hammond, think this is a stupid test. They say the aircross only develops 151 torques and that isn't enough to pull a medium-sized child. I, however, disagree. Let's do this! Go. Oh, Christ, there's some elasticity in that rope. I, however, disagree. Let's do this! No. Oh, Christ, there's some elasticity in that rope. I, however, disagree. Let's do this! Go. Oh, Christ, there's some elasticity in that rope. Ooh, well, I, however, disagree. Let's do this! No. Oh, Christ, there's some elasticity in that rope. Ooh, hello. Why is it going backwards? This is a bit of a worry.
Uh-oh.
Is that ship? The ship's going back. Look. The ship is going back. What? The situation's bad. As we reattached the tow rope, I wondered what had gone wrong. Why did he put his engines in reverse as a sort of amusing joke? I mean, he is Greek, the captain. We're not German. We didn't mess your economy up. With the rope reattached, we began the test again. Here we go. That's just clutch spin.
Oh merde.
That's just clutch. That's clutch. Traction control off. It's the only solution. Hang on. I think that ship is moving. I think we're getting further and further with each pull. No. The power. No.
Ouais, j'étais presque.
Go. The power and strength of the Citroen. That is Boaty McBoatface admitting defeat. And with that sorted out, it was time to address the C3's practicality. To answer this, we've come to France, where an armed robbery is in progress.
Oh putain, la taille du casse-dalle.
Anglaises avec visage horrible are maintenant making their escape in a red 1972 de Tomaso Pantera GTS.
Ouais, j'ai à vous, 5 par 5.
Oui,
Au-dessous et sautier. Right. Let's do this! Go. Oh! All around the world, police forces normally have pretty good cars. Americans have Crown Vics, Germans have BMs, Italians have Alphas. But France has always been a bit of a burgling free-for-all because you knew that you were only ever going to be chased by Inspector Clouseau in a diesel Renault Megane. Well, not today, because I'm in an Aircross and I've got a moustache.
Parce que je conduis une Aircross et que j'ai une moustache.
Pantera wasn't standard. It had an all-aluminium 7-litre V8 producing 550 horsepower, 4 times more than I had.
Ah.
Soon, I caught up with them. It was beginning to seem that despite my best efforts, I wouldn't be able to catch the Pantera. But then, when all seemed lost, the Citroën played its trump card and didn't break down, whereas the Pantera reverted to type and did. There you go, son. Oh, God. He's using hair dye. Anyway, it's now time for the final test, the big one. The answer to the question I'm asked 5 or 6 times a day. Italy is a difficult country to invade because it's surrounded on 3 sides by sea and on the 4th by mountains. These mountains, the Alps. But back in 218 BC, a Tunisian general called Hannibal did cross those mountains using elephants to carry his gear. And what I want to know is, could he have used an Aircross instead? I mean, obviously, the Aircross wasn't invented 200 years before the baby Jesus, but...
Yo Samuel. Ah ouais, il est excellent, bienvenue à toi. C'est tu connais Top Gear, je suppose. Tout le monde connaît Top Gear. Ah bah c'est la suite en fait, parce que Top Gear, il y en aura plus.
And that's where this knob down here comes in. It engages something called the grip control system, and that sounds like a gimmick, but it isn't.
Oh, calme-toi. Ouais, parce qu'en fait, je sais pas si t'es au courant de ce qui s'est passé, ils ont viré en fait celui-là avec les cheveux longs. Et parce que ça revenait trop cher et ça devenait trop dangereux. Alors les autres ils l'ont suivi et apparemment ils ont créé leur émission à eux maintenant, ce que The Grand Tour quoi. Ah, je vais peut-être dû aller un peu plus vite.
Really matters on a job like this is traction.
Go. And that's where this knob down here comes in. It engages something called the grip control system, and that sounds like a gimmick, but it isn't.
Oh là, oh là, oh là. Comme elle réagit vite. Bah voilà. Ouais. Ouais, j'ai lu ça dans le programme télé en fait. C'est dommage parce que tu vois, encore une fois, c'est une bonne émission et tout ça, ils l'arrêtent parce que voilà, ça revient trop cher et c'est trop dangereux. C'est un peu débile quoi. Franchement, entre eux et Top Gear France, il n'y a pas photo, hein. Ils sont 10 fois plus marrants.
With the sat-nav telling me Italy was just 2 miles away, I found another path.
Then past 2,000 meters here. Christ, if I go over the edge now. No.
Voilà, faut pas être bigler. Ah mais tourne.
Finally, the border moved into view.
Ouais, c'est ça, ouais. Ah bah cool, j'ai eu un trophée. Ah, 2 trophées, cool.
There you are, clever car.
Ah, sérieux, pour une Citroën, elle a assuré. Putain.
So there we are, faster than itself at the test track, strong enough to pull a ship, big enough for the entire Jolly family and a horse, and better at invading Italy than an elephant.
Really? I'm a machine. Pump your little car. Very good.
Are you all right? In the head, I mean.
What do you mean?
You learned nothing.
You did. You learned it could get to the top of that mountain even though it doesn't have four-wheel drive.
Yeah, but what about things that matter to people who buy that sort of car? What about, you know, boot, interior, space?
I did boot.
Okay, safety, insurance group, all that.
It's a bit boring.
I mean, okay, isn't that Citroen basically, tell me if I'm right, the same car as the Vauxhall Crossland?
It is.
Yes, it is. Good point. So, for instance, would you buy one of those instead?
Good
Well, you can't have the Vauxhall with the grip control system, so it's no good as an elephant.
No, the elephant test isn't really relevant. Is there not something... OK, the Vauxhall, is it... How easy is it to vacuum out the interior? There you go.
I knew you were going to mention that, so what I did was I took the Vauxhall down to a man who knows a thing or two about vacuuming, none other than Sir Dyson.
L'aspirateur.
You get that bit in there? Any good?
Brilliant.
Is it?
Very easy. Brilliant.
Sir James Dyson doing a test, an important test for us there.
N'importe quoi.
Just a minute.
What?
Sir James Dyson is developing a new solid-state battery. He is working on the future of global personal transport.
Yeah.
And you've wasted his whole afternoon vacuuming out the interior of the Vauxhall.
Yes.
You have literally speeded up the end of the world.
Yes. Yes, I have, and on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.
Ouais.
Goodbye.
Bon bah désolé pour ceux qui arrivent à la fin. Bye. Hésitez ou non. Donc je résume pour ceux qui n'étaient pas là, donc j'ai dû faire battre un record en corvette, ensuite après faire un record de vitesse avec la C3 sur un anneau, ensuite tirer un bateau, c'était excellent. Bon ben voilà, c'était The Grand Tour Game, donc épisode 9. Voilà, on se retrouvera pour le 10e. Je vous souhaite à tous une bonne journée, je vous dis ciao, à la prochaine.